Okay, hello. I'm bored, so I thought I'd do another rambling video just because I can. Um, After the fuck about last time editing the audio for my comics to read list, I'm giving the tablet a try. I've not used this tablet's recording functionality yet. Apparently it's good, so let's see. So what am I going to ramble about? Pretty much anything and everything at the minute. I'm going to start with a gaming recommendation because I know there's a few people out there that haven't seen it yet. The follow-up to Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket-Powered Battle Cars is out on the PS4 and PC now. The only thing that they got wrong is that they didn't give it a name as epic as Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket-Powered Battle Cars. They went with the name of Rocket League. However, yeah, that's not a bad thing. Literally, the game is pretty much identical to the first game, just massively polished. I found nothing wrong with it yet. Sorry, no, I have found one thing wrong with it, but it's a very tiny thing. They've added cross-play functionality, so both PS4 and PC players can play at the same time on the same matches, which is great. However, they haven't properly implemented anything for you to be able to find your friends across platforms. So I've got friends that have got the PC version, I've got friends that have got the PS4 version. I can't choose to be in a game with my PC friends, which is a downer. Apparently they're working on it, and as soon as that's there, that'll just be a perfect game. You only have to put Rocket League into YouTube, and you will just see thousands of videos. The YouTube community's gone nuts for it. Twitch streaming, it's everywhere. Just because it's so simple and so fun. And it's getting the recognition that the original should have got. And that's brilliant. I couldn't be happier that that's happening. Definitely go grab a copy if you're on PC. It's only, I think it's 25 quid. It's nothing. It's nothing at all. It's worth a full price game. If you've PlayStation 4, you're in even more luck. Because you need PlayStation Plus to get online on the PS4, that means you have to be PlayStation Plus. And that means you get Rocket League for free because it's this month's free PlayStation Plus game. So you've got no reason not to own it. So putting Rocket League to one side, putting Rocket League to a side, there's a bit of comic movie news happened in the last couple of weeks. The first one, the mind boggles. There's a fan theory going around at the minute, and it's that the Joker in the Suicide Squad is Jason Todd. My opinion on that theory? Absolute fucking bollocks. Not a chance in hell. The grounds for this theory are so flimsy and so... They twist everything to make it fit that this wonderful theory. They use, and spoilers, if you don't want to know... In fact, yeah, fuck it. If you don't want spoilers for Arkham Knight, walk away now and come back in about 30 seconds. One of the facts that they're using to base this on is the god-awful tattoos they've given Joker in Suicide Squad. One of those tattoos is a J teardrop thing. Let's not get into the whole damage tattooed across his fucking forehead. That they're tying to Arkham Knight because in Arkham Knight, when you finally find out who that is, it's Jason Todd, and he happens to have had a J scarred into his skin. And I don't want to spoil too much, so I won't go into why that's there, but that's there. So that's part one of their theory. The other theory is the tattoos themselves. the Joker wouldn't be crazy enough to have these tattoos on himself. He wouldn't sit still for long enough to have them. Blah, 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 blah. So they're working on the theory that the tattoos were some of the torture done by Joker to Jason Todd, and that all the tattoos have meanings. So because he wanted to see Jason laugh, he tattooed all the ha-ha-has on. The skull and jester thing is supposed to mean, supposed to signify his transition from near death to Joker. There's a wing on his arm that could be Robin. I'm sorry, not every tattoo has a fucking reason for it. You're putting that onto the character. And they completely... What was the other bit of fact? Oh yeah, the fact that a Robin in the past has become Joker. And that was in the animated series, and it was the wrong Robin, for a start. I believe somebody finally pointed out to them that if they wanted to connect Jason Todd to Joker a bit faster, the Red Hood would have been a faster way of doing it. Jason Todd became the Red Hood. The Red Hood was originally an alias of the Joker. But that wasn't part of it. And they overlooked one of the things that is in the trailer that kind of discounts it. They showed you the dead Robin's outfit. The dead Robin's outfit had a bullet wound in it. Had a bullet hole in it. The Joker character didn't have a bullet wound where that hole would be. So, no. It's ridiculous. I know the Joker's much younger than the Batman that's playing against him, but who cares? Not everything has to be a big mystery. The moment I saw that springing around online, I just hung my head in shame, because they're trying to make... What is it about comic book movies that makes people want to come up with these outlandish theories, these absolute ball ache of fucking theories? This little thing means this little thing. Just fucking enjoy it, for Christ's sake. Speaking of just enjoying it, the Gambit movie. Bit of news today about that. Channing Tatum is apparently no longer involved in the project. For me, this is good news, because I've never been particularly fond of Channing Tatum as an actor, and I've never been particularly keen on a Gambit movie existing. Gambit is an interesting character, but he's not a strong enough character to carry his own fucking film. So hopefully, with him gone, that will put a kibosh on that entire film. With any luck. It's not going to happen, is it? Other bit of comic news. Another comic recommendation. I had a long train journey the other day. I have just read all of the comics for Injustice Gods Among Us. So a couple of years ago there was a Netherrealm created fighter, Injustice Gods Among Us, all the DC heroes fighting against each other, basically Mortal Kombat with Superman. And without the Mortal Kombat characters, which Mortal Kombat versus DC was just gash. But they brought out a comic book alongside it, and the comic book continued after the game. So the first volume of it is basically the same story as the game, but it changes in a few areas. And this has evolved into an entire comic universe where the DC people have just gone, you know what? We've got this world where we can just go batshit crazy and make proper comics again. We can just do what the fuck we want. Look, run with it. And I've read the first 3. Its volumes are split into years. So the year 1 is the one that matches with the game. Years 2 and 3 and the ongoing year 4 are completely just go for it. And they're really, really good as a result, because they don't have to worry about continuity. They don't have to worry about where it fits into the world. They don't have to worry about whether they're treating the characters how they should be treated, because they can completely change the personality of the characters. Hal Jordan's a Yellow Lantern. Aquaman's a fucking pussy. Part of Year 3 involves Constantine. It's just... yeah. Go buy those books, because they're great. They're just completely separate. They're just a fun old romp, and exactly what comics should be. Final thing I'm going to rant about is some really, really interesting news, and I'm hoping this gets away with it and this actually happens. Now, apparently, Michael Dorn, aka Worf, and a group of producers are in talks to finally bring Star Trek back to the TV. They're deep in discussions and contracting to potentially do a new series of Star Trek, and its working name is Star Trek TNG: The Chronicles of Worf, or something like that. Basically, the plan is to do a new series of Star Trek, but to not do it focusing on the Federation, to do it focusing on Worf and the Klingon Empire, and basically, I think the basics of the plot is that the Klingon Empire, as it was shown at the end of Deep Space Nine, that imploding that road to civil war in the Klingon Empire, the honor versus the future, that's continued, and everything's... that's basically the plot. That what happens when an empire as powerful and as violent as the Klingons falls apart, and where does Worf sit in this as a Klingon warrior and a officer of the Federation, a man that's proud of his Klingon heritage but also proud of his human upbringing. And there's a campaign to try and make sure that these the producers know just how much the fans want this. And yesterday, they apparently... I missed out on this. This is how I found out about it. Apparently yesterday, as part of a campaign, they sent 68,000 mini muffins to the contractor, to the... what's the word for them? The people that sign the schedulers at CBC, to say, look, this many people actually want... we've got this many people to send you send you mini muffins. If all of these watch, it's got the viewing figures of half. It's got a nice little base on it, and this is just the people that know about it now. So, I wanted Star Trek to come back, and I wanted it to focus on something other than the Federation. I'm a massive Star Trek fan. Aside from a few pitfalls, all of the series have been good. Enterprise was acceptable. If you can skip past... Netflix is the best thing that's ever happened for Enterprise, if it ever goes on there, because it automatically skips the fucking opening music. That was a big mistake, but it was good. The original series, it's fun. It was of its time. It hasn't aged well, but it was of its time. Next Generation, brilliant. Deep Space Nine, brilliant. Voyager, good. I'm not going as far as brilliant on that. Voyager, good. It lacked a lead villain. It just did. But, anyway, I've wanted it back for ages, and I wanted it back on a non-human race, because we know the Federation story. There's no more stories there. So I was torn between which race I'd want it to be. In my opinion, if I had the choice to bring it back, I would actually bring it back as kind of a a universe-wide thing and switch the stories at regular intervals, have 2 or 3 ongoing storylines that followed the Klingons, the Ferengi, the Romulans, go off and maybe have some stories with the Borg, because the Borg, they've never fully been fleshed out, and there's stuff to do with that. You could check back in on the Federation, do follow-ups to what happened to the various crews, although the films have covered most of that. What happened to the Voyager crew after they got home? I mean, we had the future, the time travel episodes where we saw little bits of it, but not all of it. And all of those future storylines, not all of them got home, so there's shit to be said. But anyway, it's currently trying to get trending on Twitter under the hashtag #WeWantWorf, and go follow it. That's it. Just go join in. And with that, I'm going to wrap up, because I don't know how easy this is going to be to edit on my tablet. I'm told the app makes it fairly easy. So if you see this online, see this online, leave a comment. I feel like such a twat with doing that. Do the YouTube thing. Leave a comment, like and subscribe. Yeah, don't. Leave a comment. I like having arguments with people. Just put something in the comments I can discuss with you. And yeah. See you next time I feel like rambling at a camera.